What's up, Falcons? My name is Chris Shea, your college and career counselor, and today we're going to go over how to complete your FAFSA application. So we're going to go step by step on how to complete it, and then we're going to hopefully answer any of your questions that you might have, as well as an opportunity to ask follow-up questions and that kind of thing. So here we go. Why FAFSA? Why the FAFSA is so important is because it gives you a chance to earn free money from the government to help pay for college. And so, how it works is you basically apply, and based on your income and your parent or guardian's income, also known as a contributor, you make the application. It's free, and the government looks at that information and says, "Oh, Chris's parents made $1 billion last year, and so he doesn't need any help from the government, and so we're going to offer him zero." Or Chris's parents made $0 last year, and so he needs all the help he can get, and so he can get, or we'll offer him a Pell Grant or a grant that does not need to be paid back. And so the max you can get from a Pell Grant is around $7,400, and that's for the whole year. We'll apply for the FAFSA every year. How does this benefit you, right? So say your parents make a decent amount of money and you don't feel like you might be eligible for the FAFSA. What I've heard from college admissions and just colleges in general is that to apply anyways. It won't negatively impact you. The IRS won't hunt you down or that kind of thing. But you can list up to 20 different schools on your FAFSA application. And so as you get accepted to those schools, they can look at that information and say, oh, Chris didn't qualify for the Pell Grant from the federal government, but he does qualify for this scholarship from us by checking a certain box or whatever else. And so that's how it can help everyone apply for the FAFSA. So I always recommend everyone apply for the FAFSA. It's a really great opportunity to try to see if there's any free money available. I believe it was either 2024 or 2023 that the students in Arizona left about $100 million or something of eligible FAFSA grants that they didn't apply for. And so what they were eligible for. So let's go ahead and apply. When you receive your FAFSA form back, it'll say what your Pell or what your grants were, what work study is. So work study is an opportunity to work through the college. So the college basically ensures that you can get a job with them, and so it can help to pay for housing or food or books or whatever it may be. They will also offer loans in terms of direct subsidized and direct unsubsidized loans, and so you can see the difference of those there. And there will also be a Parent Plus loan and some other different options for you to consider. Just because you apply for the FAFSA does not mean or does not require you to take any of these loans or that kind of thing. These are just an opportunity for you. So let's go ahead and get started. And the first thing you need to do is to create your FSA ID. So if you go to this website, studentaid.gov, and click Create Account, and get started. We can create your student ID. You'll need your student ID. It's basically like your account or your profile that allows you to apply for the actual FAFSA. So we'll start there. In order to create a FAFSA ID, you need your personal information. So this personal information must match exactly what's on your birth certificate, your social security number, and that kind of thing. You'll create a username and password. You'll use your personal email. Don't use your student email because you won't receive those emails. And then you can create whatever username or password that you want. It does not matter. Include your contact information, communication preferences, and your security questions. And then we go on to double check and make sure that all the information is correct. Take your time here, right? Make sure that all of it looks correctly or is right. Make sure your address is right. Make sure that you have your zip code in correctly and everything else, right? We just want to make sure that we lessen the chance of issues or holdups later on. So after double checking, we're going to enable two-step verification. This will allow you to log into your account using your email and or your phone number. Really great, or just more convenient way of logging in. Also protects your account one extra step, which is pretty great. So after you enable your two-step verification, they're going to give you a backup code. So this is a backup code in case you can't log in or you can't get your two-step, or maybe your phone isn't accessible or whatever else. So you have your backup code. And so we're going to hold on to that backup code, and we're going to store it somewhere else. They give you a checkbox to make sure that you store it somewhere else. All right, and now we're ready to actually start the FAFSA application. We have our FSA ID. This is our account. And then so we go to the main website and we click on the 2026-2027 form. So that's the school, that will be your first school year. And so that's the year that you want to apply for. It might give you some options for 25-26. Definitely do not do that, right? We want the 26-27. How it works in general, right, is that there is a large pool of money. And so students, as they apply, will be offered that amount, and then as they are offered those amounts, that pool of money does not get replenished. It kind of just starts dwindling down. And so the earlier that we apply, the better. And so we just want to make sure that if we think we might be eligible, or just in case, let's go ahead and apply as soon as possible, because it is open now. So here are the things that you need in order to apply. For our students, you need your FSA ID login, your account username and password. You need your social security number or your A number. You need like today's balance of cash checking and savings account. If you have a cash checking or savings account, it is a day-to-day thing. And so they're asking, as of today, how much is in there? If you have any investments or businesses or farms, how much is that worth? And then any tax information, or if you filed with the IRS a tax return for the 2024 tax year. And then also you can list up to 20 schools that you're applying to. For our contributors, our parents or guardians, you need similar things. So a student aid account and an FSA ID, marital status with month and year of marriage or separation or divorce, current balance of cash checkings and savings, net worth of investment businesses or farms, your IRS information. You'll be able to link to you'll be able to give consent so that the FAFSA can pull your tax information directly from the IRS. So you don't necessarily need to fill in all those boxes like they used to. They'll just pull it directly. Record of untaxed income, if applicable, and that kind of thing. So now that we have all these things ready to go, let's try to figure out who our contributor is. So there is a super awesome tool on the FAFSA website that helps you figure out which contributor you need to use, which parent, which guardian needs to be on this FAFSA. So generally speaking, if your parents are married and still together and they file their taxes jointly, then just one of them needs to be on the FAFSA and be listed as one of your contributors. If your parents are divorced and do not live together, and you spend, it's about the criteria is which parent provides more financial assistance to you. And another way of looking at that is typically like, who do you spend your most time with? If you are a 50-50 situation, then you would list both parents. If you are 70-30, then you'd list that 70% parent. So it just kind of depends. Oh, sorry. If you're 50-50, you would list the parent that has the greater income and assets. Not both parents. My apologies. So let's make sure we correct that. So go to this website and see which parent or guardian should be listed as your contributor. And then it kind of breaks it all down for you, which makes it really easy. During the student's application, they will invite their contributor to complete their FAFSA. So you can see the screenshots. This is where you would include the parent email. So you have to know your parent or guardian's email, and then you would send an invite, and then that invite will go to, or the FAFSA will email your parent or guardian to invite them to be a contributor on your FAFSA account. All right, so how this all works. So you create your FSA account, you go and then you start your FAFSA form. You invite your contributor, whoever that might be. You sign and submit the form. You sign it by just typing in your full name. and submit the form. You're going to want to check your FAFSA processing status. And so under student activity or activity, I believe it is, it'll say what your um, expected results should be. So will you receive any type of Pell Grant or that kind of thing? And then Step 6 is follow up with each school. You'll send the FAFSA form. Step 7 is review your aid and compare costs. So when your colleges will send out a financial aid summary to you, it's typically a couple weeks after you get accepted, or sometime in mid-March, or sorry, end of February, end of January, early February, depending on the school's application deadlines or whatever else. They will send you a financial aid summary that kind of breaks down, this is what you'll receive with your tuition. This is what tuition costs. This is what you'll receive with your merit scholarship. This is what you'll receive from FAFSA. This is what you'll receive from everything else. These are all the different fees. This is what housing costs, blah, blah, blah. And it'll break it all down for you. So you can look at those and kind of compare apples to apples. Hey, if I go to this school versus that school, how much will it cost me? So every school has a FAFSA priority deadline. Here are the three for our in-state schools. ASU is January 15th. So we want to make sure that we submit our FAFSA by that date. U of A and NAU are by April 1st. So that is quite a bit later on in the process. So let's make sure that we do that sooner than that so that we can maximize any type of aid that we can get. And we just have a better idea of how much college is going to cost and that kind of thing. So we can compare the different costs for attending different schools. Also, just to note, like PIMA is also, if you're interested in attending PIMA, if you're interested in attending private schools or trade schools or whatever else, most of them will accept the FAFSA. So regardless of what your plans are for after you graduate from Catalina Foothills, it is beneficial to apply to the FAFSA. If you have questions, there will be a counselor during 7th period starting next week, November 17th through December 11th in room 205 to answer any FAFSA related questions. Or you can email me, your college and career counselor, at chsieh@cfsd16.org. Happy to help answer any questions, happy to walk you through the process. And anything that you might need. They have greatly simplified the FAFSA. It's actually working. This is the smoothest I've ever seen it work since they have updated it. And so hopefully the process is easier for you. It's faster for you. It's less frustrating and everything else. But there are still times where things arise that don't make sense or whatever else. And so we are happy to help in any way that we can. Reach out, come to 7th period, and we will do what we can to. And if we don't know, we'll find out for you. All right. So thank you so much. This is how you apply for the FAFSA. So let's apply and let's get that done. And then we'll go on to the next thing. All right. Take care, everyone.